All right, everyone, here we go. Here's the video that I finally got out of the Black Dahlia. It only took me 2 years to do this, but I finally did it, and I'm pretty proud of it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I went to several locations that factored in Elizabeth Short's life, and so here you go. Okay, here we are at the last known residence of Elizabeth Short, aka the Black Dahlia. She lived here in 1946 for a few months. She shared an apartment with 7 other girls. They slept in bunk beds. They were all struggling actresses and probably all dated for dinner like Elizabeth did. At the time of her death, Elizabeth Short was pretty much couch surfing, so she really didn't have a permanent residence. But as far as we can tell, this is the last known residence that she lived at. Go ahead and take a walk over there, and you can maybe show the lobby a little bit. Okay, so there you go. Okay, hi everybody. We are here at the Biltmore Hotel. We are in the old check-in lobby back in the 1940s where the Black Dahlia was seen sitting right down there in the lobby for hours and hours. On the last night that she was seen alive, she stayed here and she made her trek back and forth to the lobby phones that were there. This was January 9th, 1947, and eventually she walked out those doors right there and onto Olive Street. And but this was the actual last known location where she was seen. Go ahead and take a good view of the lobby. It's pretty much like it used to be back in that day, except for of course the furniture is probably not the same, but it pretty much looked like this. This is no longer used as a check-in lobby for the Biltmore. They have a more modern lobby. But at any rate, this is the lobby where she was last seen. We're tracking the Black Dahlia's last steps. So here we are in the historic Grand Gallery of the Biltmore Hotel, which was founded in 1923. And this is a picture of the grand ballroom, the grand party that was held here, and its grand opening, which is something that looks to me like you could see Jack Nicholson right here from right out of The Shining. It's just a gorgeous picture. 8 Academy Awards were held here from 1930 to 1943. So that makes it historic again. I think they started holding the Academy Awards here after they left the location at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel and came here the next year after Hell's Angels won for Best Picture. They came here and started holding Academy Awards here in their grand ballroom. And that is why we are here. This is a beautiful hotel. Go ahead and pan up and show the ceiling and the hallway and everything. They don't make them like this anymore, people. And that's why we love it here. It's still pretty much like it was back in the day. You'll recognize this hallway in many, many movies, and many television shows will show this hallway. So now you see it, and now you know when you see it on television that it's the Biltmore Hotel. So the Biltmore Hotel was founded in 1923, and it has a creepy, beautiful Art Deco vibe to it. It has a gallery with a picture of Elizabeth Short in the gallery, along with other interesting items like a costume from the 1920s and several photographs of stars who were receiving Academy Awards when the Academy Awards were being held there. And I just really think that if you're ever going to go to Los Angeles, definitely the Biltmore Hotel is worth your time in visiting. As an absolutely beautiful relic from a bygone era of the Gilded Age. Okay, here we are at the location of where Elizabeth Short's body was found in 1947, right around in this area. There was a vacant field at that time. She was last seen at the Biltmore lobby in the Biltmore Hotel. A man named Red Manley had dropped her off there, and she was seen in that lobby on January 9th. And then on January 15th, a local resident was walking her daughter in a baby carriage, pushing a baby carriage at about 10 a.m. and she discovered the body. It was cut into 2 pieces, drained of blood. She had a Glasgow smile cut on her face from ear to ear, and her hair had been set and curled, and her body had been washed. And this is where it was found, approximately right here. So when the Black Dahlia was murdered, it was big news. It made all the headlines. You don't usually see a woman cut in half and situated, posed in a neighborhood of women and children and in suburban Los Angeles. She got the name Black Dahlia because there was a movie at the time that was being shown called The Blue Dahlia that starred Alan Ladd. And that's how she got her name. She always wore Black Dahlia in her hair. Many people think George Hodel, the doctor, murdered her. He lived at a really creepy house. It's still there on Franklin Avenue, and you can actually rent this house out for events. I think it's quite expensive. I don't, however, believe this theory that George Hodel murdered her. Hi, everyone. So here we are at the gravesite of Elizabeth Short, the Black Dahlia. This is her grave. She was buried here in 1947. I think her father foot the bill for the funeral. This is a very, very fancy cemetery in Piedmont, California, which is next to Oakland. You wouldn't expect to find such a fancy cemetery here. It's actually very, very, very fancy. Costs a lot to be buried here. So I just wanted to take you here and show her her grave. She's not buried in Hollywood. She's buried here in Northern California in Piedmont. Here's a rare photograph of the actual funeral of Elizabeth Short. The only people that were in attendance, sadly, were her mother, her sister, and her sister's husband. And it's right there at Piedmont Cemetery in Oakland. So that's a wrap for my Black Dahlia video, which took me only 2 years to finally put together and get out, only because it took me 2 years to get out to Elizabeth Short's grave, which isn't in Hollywood. It is in Northern California. Northern California is where I actually live, but it took me a long time to get out to Oakland to finally find her grave. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it, and please like and subscribe the YouTube channel, and also check out my Facebook page, Tragic Hollywood, Beautiful, Glamorous, and Dead. And as always, don't forget that I have 3 books out on Amazon, all dealing with the golden age of Hollywood, tragedies, mysteries, deaths, and scandals. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys later.